Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Hope everyone is doing well. This is going to be a short, unscheduled, surprise live podcast. I didn't know what to call this, so I'm just going to call this the Best Linux So Far podcast. And I'll, once this is done, I'll transcode this probably the next day or two for the Patreon supporters, so thank you. And I decided to do this because I have some time this morning, and maybe I'll catch some people here in the live chat overseas who don't normally have a chance to, say hello. And another reason why I'm doing this is, let me show you. Amazon now has podcasts. You can now stream podcasts on Amazon. As far as I know, it's free. Maybe this is something I should start doing. I'm not really sure. Right now, I just transcode these and put them on the Patreon page as a thank you for all of you who support Total OS today through Patreon for $1 a month or more. And, oh, hi, Carson. I just looked at the comments. Welcome, Carson. How are you? I hope all is well. And if we have anybody new watching, please do stop by and say hello. I try to do these again at random times. I don't do a lot of these because these live shows don't help pay the bills, don't support the channel that much. So if you would like to support the channel, check out links below through PayPal, Patreon, or Super Chat. So thank you again. We have Zorin OS. We have Chris. Carson is doing great. Awesome. By the way, the background music, if you hear it, is just some of my dad's music from his music vault from Italy. I have those up on Bandcamp, and that's another way to help support the channel for $1 a download. Okay. So I got word from Amazon, and we'll go into the Linux, my top 5 Linux for beginners. So far. Not a complete list, but just so far. So Amazon now is going to start, streaming music for free. I'm not sure how to submit podcasts to Amazon. If this is something you guys would like to see, let me know, and we'll go from there. Sleepy is in the house from Australia. Good day, mate. Necromancer is in the house. And yeah, I'll try to keep track of your comments. We'll check out the Patreon too. Thank you, Carson. Yeah, just go to patreon.com/TOS today. Thank you. All right, so I just wanted to bring this to your attention, those of you who use Amazon, which is probably everybody. Here in town, we have a mall that's like, half dead. Not much here. We don't have a computer store. Electronics store, there's no Circuit Cities, Radio Shacks. Best Buy is 30 miles away, so yeah, I use Amazon. But just to bring this to your attention, if you want to check out streaming podcasts on Amazon. Okay, let's go into my top 5 pick for the best Linux-based systems for beginners. Again, this is not obviously a complete list. I think there's probably more than 5 best for beginners. And how I picked these is based on my personal tests. Either a full install or running this off a live USB. Or both, okay? Full test, live USB, or both. So now these are in no particular order, and as you can see here, we have Zorin OS. Zorin OS has been around since 2009, believe it or not. Over 10 years. Good for them. This started off as a couple of kids. I call them kids because they started off as teenagers. They're not kids anymore, and they've done well for themselves. So there are different versions of Zorin OS Lite. Obviously, the Lite version is designed for older machines. I believe with the Lite version, a computer that has at least 512 megabytes of RAM will run the Zorin OS Lite. Excuse me. And they have a paid version for $39.99. I believe it is the ultimate version if you want the ultimate in software. There is the standard version featuring the GNOME or GNOME desktop. The GNOME desktop is probably not my first choice for beginners. It's not that hard to learn. But the Zorin Lite, I believe has the desktop environment of XFCE. Now, for those of you who watch this or listen to this and have no idea what I just said about a desktop environment, yeah, think of a computer-based system as the core system, and then the desktop environment, or D, is the window dressing. What does it look like? And there are multiple desktop environments, but for beginners, I would probably go with Zorin Lite, OS Lite, versus the standard version of Zorin for beginners. Again, those of you who watch the slate, this is not in any particular order. We have Quails, or Kale. We have Quails in the house. Hello, Quails. How are you? Okay, let's go to the next one here. And I know there's a slight delay, so. All right, of course, my personal favorite, Ubuntu MATE. And the reason why this is my personal favorite, number one, it just works, as they all do. But the MATE desktop, since the beginning, I've liked because it's simple. Now, for some, maybe it's too plain Jane, too simple. But that's the beauty about Linux, because you can change the look of it. So if you like the core system of a MATE desktop, but it's too plain, change it. Experiment with it once you get more experience. But Ubuntu MATE is designed for older machines, also for beginners. Martin Wimpress, who designed this, I had asked him. We did a podcast or a show. Oh wow, I guess it's been 4 years ago, something like that. I asked him how this came about, and he says, well, his wife was complaining there wasn't anything easy for beginners or something like that. And he created Ubuntu MATE for his wife. That's right, Ubuntu MATE is the romance. The romance Linux operating system for Wimpy's wife, as we call him. So thank you, Martin Wimpress, for Ubuntu MATE, and also a shout out to Alan Pope. Alan Pope also helped bring this to life. So my personal favorite is Ubuntu MATE. For me, it just works. It's simple. It has a cool desktop changer, different looks to it, and definitely check out this. As I look through the comments, we have low spec Linux laptop. Good morning. Vince says, didn't you do an interview with one of the Zorin devs? Yes. Just search my channel. I believe that was boy, this pandemic year, I've lost my mind. I think it was last year. But yeah, just check out search the channel here on Total OS today, and then yeah, I did it with one of the founders for Zorin OS, and yeah, I think now you can even buy Zorin based laptops, if I am not mistaken, starting at about $400, and that's the sweet spot for me as a technologist and as a consumer. If I was brand new to Linux, and I would, if somebody asked me what should I start with, Chromebook obviously would be on the top of my list, because those start at $200 for a low-end machine based off of Gen 2 Linux. But to really dig into Linux to get the feel for it, yeah, probably Zorin OS at a price point of 400 something is probably not a bad start. Julie H is in the house. How are you, Julie? Welcome to this morning's stream. It is morning for me. I actually just finished up some breakfast. That's why I'm not showing my camera and feeding my big Italian mouth. All right, so where are we here? Yeah, Zorin OS, Ubuntu MATE, And let's see, the next one we've talked about before. Peppermint OS, again, Lite, great for older machines. I've tested this before, multiple installs before. I believe this is also running the XFCE desktop environment. Again, lightweight. I think they are still offering a 32-bit version, if I am not mistaken. I know more and more developers are skipping 32-bit, which is understandable. It takes time and money and all that, but yeah. Zorin OS Lite, the latest update, by the way, 15.3, you could also download in a 32-bit version, which is cool because both of my ThinkPads are 32-bit CPUs, so check that out. So we looked at Zorin Lite, Peppermint, Ubuntu MATE. Anybody else? Anybody want to guess what would be the next one on my short list? I'll give you guys and girls about a minute. Pick another one you think would be great for beginners. If anybody wants to take a crack at this. And these are operating systems I have mentioned before. I should probably mention, it's not on my list right now, I should probably mention standard Ubuntu, because without Ubuntu I wouldn't be here. Many of you probably wouldn't be here, so I'll give them a shout out. Yeah, it's Gen 2 for big. Well, you know what, Quails? Yeah, if you buy a Chromebook, you are correct. That would be Gen 2 for beginners, not to install. Ferrin OS, okay, I like Ferrin OS, sure. Probably not Arch, yeah. Nah, Manjaro is definitely not on my list. I have not had good luck with Manjaro, so I know some people have, and that's fine. It's not on my list. Yeah, not Arch, no. I'm trying to think of my top 10 list. Is there anything that is Arch based for beginners? Off the top of my head, I would say no. Yeah, off the top of my head, I would say no. I know, Sleepy, you have don't you have an Arch-based system that you seem to like that seems easy? Okay, well, so far nobody's guessing. For beginners, Pop OS. You know what? Pop OS is a lighter version of GNOME. That could be on the top 10 list, Carson, sure. Quail says you got tired of distro hopping, you're now kernel hopping. Oh, okay. Very good. Isn't that like unstable? Sometimes? I don't know. I don't distro hop as much as I used to. So yeah. I got 2 left. No one's guessed so far. The 2 left. One should be obvious. I've used before, commented. There's been some controversy. Ubuntu. Ubuntu's okay. Arco Linux. Very good. Yeah, well, Chromebook is something you would buy for beginners, not actually install. It would be Chrome OS, but yeah, I mean, Chromebooks are fine for beginners. 2 left. No one's guessed yet. One is easy. I mentioned before, I've used before. I'll give you a hint. This distribution has a version of the MATE desktop. And there was some controversy a couple months ago about the developer locking out some software that I did not approve. Elementary, yeah, that's a good guess, but that's not it. Here's another hint. Think of green. Mint. Who snap? You got it. Yeah, that is on my list. I guess they have still permanently locked out the ability to easily install Snap, Sleepy. So that's why it is not my top beginner distro. I guess I'm being picky about it. But I mean, you can bypass that. But I'll put it on my list to be fair, because I still like Linux Mint. I just didn't like what they did, permanently locking out Snaps by default. You can unlock it if you want. Yes, Mint is the next one. Let's switch here. There are different versions of Mint. We have Mate Cinnamon and XFCE. And I believe there's a Debian edition. That's probably not for beginners. Although I have not tested the latest version of LMDE, Linux Mint Debian Edition. Mate works great. And you want to know why Mate is my favorite desktop environment? They have the best, by far, 100% solid, A+, Toss Today approved weather app. You know, when you go to the panel, right-click and add an applet, kind of like in Ubuntu or XFCE, they have the best weather application that always works, period. It never crashes. Now somebody's, well, Toss, why don't you just look out the window? Fine, next time I do a live show, I'll just leave the live stream for 60 seconds, go look out the window, and come back to an empty chair. Just joking. But yeah, they have the Mate desktop built-in weather app. It just works. Yeah, you know, maybe I should do a live stream straight from the weather app. Sleepy says so many good choices. Yeah. So check out Linux Mint. Mate and XFC are going to be lighter. Cinnamon is definitely going to be a little bit heavier. With these, you should probably have at least a gig, maybe 2, to run comfortably. With Zorin Lite and Peppermint OS, you can get away with, I think, 512 megabytes of RAM, although it is not recommended. So, yeah, just to let you know. But again, my favorite out of the mints would be the Mate, of course. Okay. We do have one last one on my list. Before we go to that, once again, if there's anybody new watching and listening, wants to say hello or have a question, please do. That's why I do these. One of the reasons to hop on at different times during the week when I can and let other people jump in. Anybody want to take a guess on the last one? It is a Lite Linux distribution. I've mentioned a couple times before. It probably doesn't get mentioned often as much. I believe the standard desktop environment is XFCE. It does have the word Lite in the title of this Linux distribution. If anybody wants to take a guess. Not too many videos on this one, although this one I've tested is pretty it's, yes, Linux Lite. I believe they spell it Lite, Quails. And yeah, simple, fast. I don't recall having any issues with this one. And again, none of these, looking at the list here, yeah, none of these are meant to have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Not a lot of eye candy, anything that snaps at you. Pun on words, right? You know, like the GNOME desktop, looks very sharp out of the box. You know, Farron has a lot of customizations, if I am not mistaken. None of these top 5 really pop out. You know, when it comes to Linux-based systems, for beginners, and I suppose for beginners and beyond, I look at the 3 S's. Number 1, it has to be stable. Because if it ain't stable, why use it? Number 2, speed would be nice. Fast, you know, stable, fast. Then my last of the 3 S's, special looks. If it looks great on top of it, why not? We have, I hope I say this right, Shamim is in the house. Welcome to the live show. Why doesn't Linux Linux Lite get much traction? Probably my guess is because, you know, 10 years ago, Shamim, maybe there was only 2 or 3 that were great for beginners. I mean, really solid, but a lot has changed. There's a lot more competition. You know, I listed 5, but there's at least 10 for beginners, maybe more. So there's more competition. Linux Lite should get more attention. That's why I have them on my short list. So again, you came in late. So my top 5: Zorin OS Lite, Peppermint, Ubuntu MATE, Linux Mint, and Linux Lite. This is not a complete list, Linux list, of course. But the reason why Linux Lite doesn't get more attraction, my guess, is too much competition. I think another distribution that should probably get more in terms of just being stable is probably PC Linux OS. They are based, I believe, in Texas here in the United States. Yeah, so that's probably another one that does not get enough traction. And there's probably more out there. I'm trying to think of the one that's LXLE based off the top of my head. That's super light, that's been around a while. I don't remember now. Bob likes Ubuntu MATE Debian, Ubuntu MATE Debian 10 MX. You like 3 of those? Okay. Yeah, MX is probably on the top 10 list. Solid. Anything that's based off the Debian stable branch, you're not going to get the latest software, but sometimes you may not need the latest software. If you are not a content creator, a technologist, YouTuber like myself, you probably don't need the latest software. You just want to, install it, jump on, catch the Toss Today videos or stream a podcast, check your emails, do what you got to do, and be done with it. And Debian stable fits the bill. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone like me using Debian stable branch, but sometimes I may need the latest. I may need the latest Kdenlive for whatever reason, or the Simple Screen Recorder, or OBS Studio, because of what I do for the editing for the live shows. But Debian stable, anything based off of Debian stable, man, it's stable. There's what? The stable testing and what? The unstable branch, right, guys? 1, 2, 3, yeah. MX Linux is great. Software availability is an issue sometime. As far as the latest software, yeah. If for some reason that you need it, the latest software, sure. But again, their foundation is stability and not the latest. Because sometimes the latest may not necessarily be the greatest. That's why I tend to stay away from either Arch-based or rolling type of systems. Because of bugs issues, not enough testing, And for beginners, anything that's, generally speaking, anything that's labeled an LTS, long-term support, 3 years. I believe standard Ubuntu is 5 years. It's probably the one I would stick with if you are completely new to Linux. Now, once you get a little bit more advanced, then of course you're welcome to use whatever you want to use. But yeah, again, my personal favorite is Ubuntu MATE, and yeah, they do offer the 32-bit versions, but you only got about, it looks like, a year of support until 2021. So be on the lookout for that if you are currently using Ubuntu MATE 32-bit. So, Bob, you tried the latest Manjaro XFCE and it screwed up the system. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, look, there are some people who had good luck with Manjaro. I have not, so, it is Arch-based. I know Sleepy says you run the Arco Linux. You've had very good luck with it. So, I guess it's all about random luck and experimentation. So, yeah. All right, let's give this, where are we? We're at the 24-minute mark. Let's give this a 5-minute heads-up warning, and we'll wrap this up so I can get showered and start my day. I'm going to be having lunch in about an hour or so with my boy. Need to do some shopping. So for those of you joining in late, my list, we have Zorin OS. They've been around since 2009. Of course, Ubuntu MATE, very nice. Peppermint OS, again, all these are going to be fairly light versions of Linux. Of course, Linux Lite and Linux Mint. My favorite out of all these, again, would be the MATE edition. Let's see here. Sleepy enjoys the company of Lady Luck. Luck be a lady. I'm hoping to have Slim Man back on the show, Sleepy. Yeah. Just something off topic. Facebook will be discontinuing Facebook Live for artists starting October 1st. For my singer friends, that's horrible. So hope to get them back here on the live stream. Yeah, luck is good. Good luck is good. Shamim, you like Peppermint and Linux Lite. I recommend to newbies mostly. Very good. What do I think is the best creative distro? Interesting question, Carson. Creative distro. Well, if you mean something that looks totally different, or an operating system that has the software pre-installed for creators, like Kdenlive, Audacity. Of course, those you can install yourself. I guess Ubuntu Studio, if we're talking software, Ubuntu Studio be the one. As far as something that looks creatively different for creating media. Well, for me, it's different because I pick my personal favorite Ubuntu MATE, and then I download my favorite software that I need, my favorite creative software. And that might be a good topic for another live show one of these weekends. Maybe someone can sponsor that live show, my favorite creative media. But yeah, I think Ubuntu Studio is probably the one that's loaded. Some years ago, there was something called Ubuntu Ultimate that was loaded with software, but I don't think that one is still around. Hi, Tim. How are you? I'm trying to think if there's anything else besides Ubuntu Studio. Farron, don't you isn't your system have a few pieces of software for creators? Or am I thinking of something else? I can't remember. Yeah, probably Ubuntu Studio for creators in general, but again, I just pick the one I like, OS, and just download what I need. I use, since we're on the topic, I use Kdenlive, Audacity, a simple screen recorder. In fact, let me go here real quick to my sound and video tab. Audacity audio recorder, GUVC view for the camera, handbrake, pulse audio, anything else, and of course VLC to play back just about everything. And two of my favorite music players, audio players, would be Audacious. You know, Rhythmbox has been around at least since 2006. Yeah. Salient is a multimedia distro. Okay, I did not know that. You're welcome, Carson. Yeah, check out Ubuntu Studio. I believe they switched to XFCE desktop, which should be lighter. I believe it was GNOME for a while. I'm not sure. Timo, what is new? CFW, WWW is in the house. Good day. Bob, you tried to install Pep10 again. It would break during the boot install and not just on one machine. That is unusual. Make sure you check the MD5. Make sure that the download is not corrupted. Oh, the SHA, what is it? SHA 256 some algorithm. Make sure that the download is not corrupted. If it is, delete it, download it again. That may be it. I'm not sure. Ubuntu Cinnamon, I have not tried. Ubuntu DDE, I think I looked at it. It's okay. Yeah, they're okay for what I've seen. Yeah, I've mainly tried. Actually, one of my ThinkPads, I believe I still have Linux Mint Cinnamon. Runs a little bit slower than MATE, but it looks polished. So, yeah, Bob, try that. Make sure that the download is not corrupted. It can happen. Yeah. Timo, how are you? Will I be on this weekend? I don't know yet. I got your email contribution. Thank you, Tim. I don't know yet. We may. What is today? Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, it is. We might do a private chat tomorrow night. Tim, yeah, then we'll go from there. So we still got to schedule that talk about autonomous trucking. Maybe we can schedule. We'll maybe talk about it tomorrow night and schedule a date. We'll try to do it next time. One of the topics that we've discussed for people coming in late is the future of trucking may be driverless trucks, robotic trucks, kind of like the Tesla autopilot and all that. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, some say it's good, some say it's bad, some say it's the future of trucking. I have mixed feelings about it. There are, of course, like with any piece of technology, it has positives and negatives. We'll talk about that. Absolutely, we should catch up on that subject. Yeah, I'll let you know. Okay, is anybody else who came in late who is maybe new or has a question to ask or wants to say hello, then we'll wrap this up. Those of you who are new, again, if you would like to support the channel, the streams, check out some links below on PayPal and patreon.com/TOS today. And I hope to have my singer friend, Slim Man, back on. He did a concert for us back in July. Very nice. Necromancer, you have a great day and a weekend coming up. You have a great weekend also. It's been cooling down here in Ohio. Nice sleeping weather. Crispy, cool, no humidity, dry. It feels great. No problem, Tim. We'll catch you on the next one. This is just one of my surprise unscheduled podcasts, when I have time. All right, so we'll wrap it up with this one. I hope those of you who came in who asked questions, I hope this helps you out. Again, Zorin OS Lite, Peppermint OS, Ubuntu MATE, Linux Mint, and Linux Lite for my short list on the best Linux OS, the best Linux-based systems so far for beginners. Okay. Thank you for watching and listening to this podcast. I'll catch you sometime in the future. You guys know how to reach me. If you want to sponsor a future live show, the topic of your choice, just let me know. Send me an email or comment, and we'll go from there. Arrivederci, my friends. Ciao.